right, so we have placed all the text using different methods. And now we're going to apply styles to the text, create some new styles, and that are uniform throughout the document. All right. So the first thing we're going to do, I'm going to kind of double click on page one here, is there are a lot of extra spaces. And a lot of times people, when they're typing like a writer, will, press enter or return key every time they want space between paragraphs. And we might not, as designers, want that. And so, and in fact, in this case, if you kind of look at some of these pages, there's these huge spaces in between paragraphs. So I'm going to get rid of those paragraph returns right now. And so first I have to find them. So I'm going to right now do type, and then I'm going to come down to the very bottom and say show hidden characters. So I see these paragraph returns here. So there's 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, that's a lot of paragraph returns. And so I'm going to use my type tool, and I'm going to click before the P's here. And then I'm going to go up to here, edit. And then I'm going to go to find change, which is kind of like find and replace. A lot of word processing programs use that. Okay. So I'm going to click forward for the direction here. And I'm going to select story. I want to do story. I don't want to do everything in the document. I just want to do this part of it. Everything that's threaded with this first column. And then I am going to do and find what? I'm going to say find a end of paragraph. And then I'm going to do that again because I want it to find two. I want it to find two end of paragraphs. I didn't do that right. End of paragraph. Okay, so you see there's end of paragraph, end of paragraph. And I want to change it to only one end of paragraph. Okay. So what I'm going to do right now is that I want this to go forward. I'm at the very start of that. That's why I'm going to go forward. And I'm going to do find next. And then I'm going to do change all. Okay. So 18 replacements were made. Okay. And then I'm going to do done. Okay. So that's the first thing I've done. And that's, something that I often have to do when somebody gives me text. And now right now you're going, wait a second, there's no spaces between paragraphs. I'm going to take care of that in a second. So I'm going to double click page one because I want page one here. And I'm going to use my text tool, and I'm going to click anywhere in the text frame containing this main article, and then I'm going to do edit, select all. So remember, this takes care of everything that is threaded here. And then over here in properties, I'm going to click on paragraph styles, and then I'm going to click to see the menu. And then I want to, here's body text. And then I want to click body paragraphs. And that is going to change everything in all pages right now. Okay, so if I scroll through, I will see this everywhere now. Because remember, they're all selected right now. So I'm going to go back to page one. I could click here, or I could go here and I could go layout, and I can do go to page one and click OK. Okay, so here I am in page one. All right. So on page one, I'm going to click on just the first paragraph of the article. Okay. And so I'm just clicking here, and then I'm going to properties, going to paragraph styles, coming down here, and then I'm going to do drop cap. Okay, so look what happened. It didn't indent and it did a big P, the first letter that's 2 lines high. Okay. So I've done that, which is very cool. And now using the type tool, I'm going to click on fertilizing. Okay. So once I'm here, this is in a paragraph. It's between this paragraph and this paragraph. I've clicked on this. I'm going to come over here to my styles and I'm going to make that body head. So look what happened. It spaced a little bit. It made it a line left and it made it this brown color. Okay. All right. Now this paragraph underneath is right underneath a subhead. So as a designer, I've decided that I want this paragraph not to be indented. This paragraph over here that starts as here is one case, I want that indented. But here I feel like it doesn't need to be indented because everyone knows it's a new paragraph. So I'm going to come over here to body paragraphs and I'm going to do body paragraph no indent. Okay. So I'm going to continue through this document doing those other things. So I'm going to go down here to layout and I'm going to go next spread. I'm going to click on sewing and I'm going to make that my body head. I'm going to click on this first one, the next paragraph, and I'm going to do body paragraph no indent. Okay. Here's thinning out, body head. Next paragraph is body paragraph no indent, protection from birds, body head. Next paragraph is no indent. Caring for the vines is body head. Next one is not indented. Okay. So I just want you to make sure that some of the paragraphs are indented, just not the paragraphs right after the subhead. So now I'm going to come down here, picking peas. I'm going to make that body head. Next paragraph, no indent. Follow crops. Subhead, body head. Next one, no indent. Okay. All right. So I've done all of those. And so now we need to kind of adjust our columns. All right. And right now you can see that we have some things that are over. You know what? Let me make sure I haven't done this on the last paragraph. Yeah, no, it's fine. Okay. So I've done that, and now we're going to work on adjusting some of our columns. So I want you to double click. Let's go to the Pages panel, and let's double click on page 4. Okay, here it is. Using the selection tool, I'm going to click the text frame on the left that contains the main article. And I'm going to drag, so you can see that here I have kind of the spaces of it. I'm going to drag it. And do you see how I can see the height? I want the height of the frame to be about 2.2 inches. Okay. Then I'm going to select the frame at the right and I'm going to drag that up too. Okay. So that is also about 2.2 inches. All right. And so that way I resized them so that it wasn't over this text. So now I'm going to go to layout next spread, which is pages 6 and 7. Okay. And the bottom includes a quote box. So I'm going to select this and I'm going to bring this up to about 2.5. Okay. All right. So now I am going to click on this side. And this might seem kind of silly, but I'm going to move my text frame up because I don't want this text frame to ever go any further down either. Okay. So I want to show you something that really bugs designers. And let me show you on page 1. Do you see that when I did all of this different layout and different styles, this starts off with these two lines of text aligned, but down here they are not aligned. And it's not aligned because there's some different spacing issues around here. So this is very annoying to designers, and this is a really good way to see if something is well designed or not. So what we are going to do is we're going to set up a baseline grid that shows how this should be spaced correctly. So the first thing we need to do is check the leading value for the body text. So I'm double clicking on page 1. I'm going to properties, and I am selecting with the type tool in here. Okay. So I want to show you something. Here, this is an 8-point text, right? That's the font size. Over here, the leading between lines is 11 point. Okay. It's called leading because it used to be spaced. When printers used to do this, they used to put lead spacers in between the type. Okay, so it's 11 point. I need to know this first. Okay, now I'm going to come up here to edit, preferences, grids here. Okay, and now I'm going to click on baseline grid. Okay, this is baseline. Okay, it's light blue. I'm going to keep that. I'm going to make my start field 0. Okay, then I'm going to tab relative to top of page, fine, increment every 11 point. And that's because that's the leading, right? All right. And then I'm going to keep the view threshold at 75%, and I'm going to choose OK. Okay. Now I'm going to do edit, deselect all. And this is a good time to save. Save. All right. So now I want to view my grid. So I'm going to come over here to view, grids and guides, show baseline grid. Okay. So this now shows where my text should be. Okay. So you can see that it's lined up here, but down here it's not lined up. Okay. And I want to do view actual size. Okay, this is the actual size of this small thing. And then I am going to align all of the text in this story to my baseline grid. So I'm in the T tool. I'm going to click here. And then I am going to do edit, select all. Okay, so that selects on all of my pages. So I can now see that all of my text is selected. All right. So now I'm going to go to type paragraph. Okay, here's this paragraph. Okay. And down at the very bottom here is align to baseline grid. So look at the text and see what happens when I click on this. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to select. I'm going to select outside here. And do you see how everything is along here, which is awesome. And it's like that on every single page. Okay. So every page looks good that way. Okay. So I have that, although now, hold on. Now I'm realizing I need to bring this up, or I might need to bring this down. Okay, well, anyway, I've got that. Okay, so that's the way that looks. All of the characters rest on the grid lines. So now I'm going to get rid of that. I'm going to go view and I'm going to hide baseline grid. Now it just looks awesome. All right. And I'm going to save it. And then now I need to upgrade. I need to change my paragraph styles. Okay. So let me show you this. So I just made some changes. Aligning it to the baseline grid meant that some of my paragraph styles changed. So I'm going to go right here to layout, go to page 1. Right here I am. And right now I'm going to use the type. I'm going to go to type paragraph styles. Have that over here. And I'm going to, with my type tool, click on this first one. Okay. So here's my drop cap. This is at the very start of it. And look at that drop cap now has a plus here. Okay. So what I'm going to do here is come up to this little hamburger, these 3 lines, and I'm going to say redefine style. So now I don't have that plus. It says drop cap is now this, now this other style that aligns to the base grid. So now I need to kind of do this with everything. So I need to do this with fertilizing. Body head now has a plus on it. I'm going to come over here, redefine style. I'm going to go down here to my body paragraphs, no indent, and I'm going to redefine style. And then I'm going to go to one of my regular paragraphs, body paragraphs plus, and I'm going to do redefine style. Okay. So now I have all of this like that. Okay. So I have done all of that and I'm going to click on that. Now, this is kind of doesn't make a lot of sense on this document because it's so short, but sometimes you move from one page to another and you want to add a line that says continues, like keep reading, okay? So I'm going to use the selection tool here, and I'm going to drag, do you see this like text that's over here in the pasteboard? I'm going to drag this to the bottom of the column, and it has to touch my text frame. So, do you see how it's kind of text, it's right touching it? I'm going to let go of it. Okay. And, um, and then I'm going to get real close here. So I'm going to click on here. Okay. And I'm going to use my text tool to do an insertion point after on. Hold on. Okay. To my insertion point. You know what? It's a little weird. Hold on a second. I'm just going to move this a little bit over because I need to see it. I'm going to do my insertion point here. Okay. And I am going to actually right click here. And I'm going to do insert special character markers next page number. And then look what happened. It automatically knows that the next page number is page 2 because of the way this was set up, right? And now that I've done that, I'm going to move it over. And that's what that looks like, which is kind of cool. All right, now I need to go to the next layout. And the reason I'm doing that is because I want to do a continued on. So this one says P's continued on page 2. And so now I want to do, I want to change the text, the jump line. This is, by the way, called a jump line. It tells you where to jump to, okay? So one thing I'm going to do right now is I'm going to copy this. And I'm going to choose edit, copy. right? I'm going to go to Layout, Next Spread. Now I'm going to do Fit Spread and Window. And I'm going to here choose Edit Paste. And this just kind of went in the middle of something, something here. And just for this, I'll change this in a second. I'm going to move this down because what I want to do is take this and do it so that it's touching. Okay. So I've done it there. And I'm going to use the type tool to change instead of continued from. It's going to say from, and then I'm going to get rid of the two, but I'm still right there, continued from, and then I'm going to right click, insert special character, markers, previous page number. And so it adds continued from page 1. Okay. So I'm going to click on this right now, go to properties, and I want that to be to the right side. I mean, to the left side, right? And now I'm going to adjust it because I want this here. And then I want this to come to the same place. Okay. So, in fact, I might move that up a little bit still. Okay. So it says continue from page 2. I'm going to do some arrows to just kind of put this in a different place. Okay. So that's what it looks like. To double check my beautiful job, I go to preview and I kind of look in different pages, just kind of double check that everything looks great. I'm going to have to put a space there. Make sure that what I've done is even, that everything is still combined, and here this comes here. So looks wonderful. I'm going to save it. And now I'm going to export it. And I'm going to export it as a PDF, Wilkerson K_6. And now I am ready to submit that.